Okay. Morning again. Daniel Valdez again. Good to see you all, even though I can't see you. Let's talk about the weekend real quick. Go over that stuff. And then, I don't know, we'll see where this takes us. I'll try not to make this very long. I say that every time, and then 45 minutes later, I've run out of gas. I promise not to do that this time. Bands of America Super Regional in St. Louis and Indianapolis. Fantastic contests. Man, there were some good performances. Got to watch that stuff through flow marching. Had a bunch of friends over in St. Louis, had a bunch of friends over in Indianapolis. Both of those regionals had live blogs going. They were promoted on the Music for All website. And in a couple of weeks, when San Antonio comes around, you better believe that we're going to have coverage there too. So stay tuned for that. I don't know what we're going to do for San Antonio. I'm going to, personally, that week, I'll be down Thursday. And then, I don't know, there'll be a bunch of content I'll release that week and later this week and all that stuff. We'll see how it goes. Great performances. Let's touch on a couple of the Texas bands that performed in the St. Louis Regional. Congratulations to Anderson High School from Austin, Cypress Falls from Houston, and Westwood from Austin. All three programs made the top half in prelims, which is great. And we kind of forget how difficult it is and how weird it can be to take a trip, especially in the state of Texas, where, you travel 700 miles in one direction and you're still in the damn state. We forget how weird it can be to take a program across state lines for a contest in the middle of the season. Grand Nationals, it's a different story because you kind of lead up to it, and then you take that one big trip. It's almost like spring semester. You do your concert band stuff, you do your UIL stuff, and then maybe you go compete somewhere in the state. Maybe you do honor band recording, and then, the end of the spring semester, you take this big trip somewhere, and everything you do kind of leads up to it, whether you're going to be competing on that trip or not. But to take one in the middle of the season is very difficult to do because it's the state of Texas. You just can't leave in the middle of the night and then perform and then come back the next day. It's a little more difficult than that. So I admire the programs who go across state lines and promote the Texas sound and promote the Texas way of doing things for marching band. So congratulations to those three programs. Cypress Falls almost made finals. I was really pulling for them, especially what happened in their neck of the woods with the whole hurricane and all that stuff. They were close, about 0.3 of a point away from making finals. This is a good program. Proud of what they did. Let's talk about Westwood for a second. Westwood is a program that almost made BOA Austin finals. A stacked BOA Austin finals. I remember them going on in BOA Austin. I thought, man, these guys sound pretty good. And they look pretty good too. And there's plenty of body movements and, fun stuff. Then they go to St. Louis. They were 4th after prelims. Massive accomplishment. Hanging right there with the big boys. 6th place in finals. Dropped a little bit. That's okay. Top half of finals. Very nice. Their sound is really, really, really good. Very proud of what they were able to accomplish over there. So it's funny because people who don't live in the state kind of look at it and go, oh, wow, that's a surprise. But then the people that live here go, that's not a surprise. They're good. They know what they're doing. I hope they keep it up. This is a good program. It's a very well-rounded program. There's always, if you're in the guard, they have a good guard. If you're in the drumline, they have a good drumline. If you're into, big ensemble moments where it's just lush sounds and plenty of notes, this program gives you a taste of everything there is to like about marching band, which is really cool. Super regional over in Indianapolis. Carmel comes out on top as the champion. Avon 2nd place, right behind them, and I mean right behind them. Why did I mention that? It's not just because Avon is coming down to San Antonio and they're gonna kick all the ass. A lot of people seem to think that, because this happened at Super Regional, because Broken Arrow won the Super Regional in St. Louis only by like 1.3 points, and because Avon got second place in Indianapolis, that means they have the entire season figured out. You've got it all figured out, don't you? Well, guess what? Stop. Because even I don't have that figured out yet. If anything, it made the next couple of weeks that much more frantic and that much more of a question mark. People like to pull these correlations out of thin air when it comes to this activity. Well, if they only scored this, and this band did this, and this band beat this other band, and according to the posthumous fate, you can do this. No, stop. Cut it out. The season we're having this year is going to be one of the most chaotic finishes ever in this activity. Because everybody's good. And then stop comparing scores from other contests. You cannot compare a score from a 65 band super regional that lasted 2 days to a 30 or 25 band regional. You cannot compare those scores. It does not work that way. We would like for it to work that way because it would make things make more sense in our heads. But that's not the case here. So if you think you've got the season figured out, if you think that a program is not going to do as well as you think because of what happened this past weekend, stop. Like I said, a frantic, chaotic finish. And guess what? Anyone who's a band fan, anybody who's going to be in the stands at San Antonio, anyone who's going to be in the stands at Grand Nationals, you're in for a wild ride. And you're going to be the ones to reap the benefits. Because you're going to see some insane performances. That's what's so great about this activity, and that's what I've noticed over the past couple of years, is that the level of performance is gradually rising. These kids know how to perform. They know what they're doing. They're well versed in the art of performance. They know it's not just about adding notes and playing notes and just kind of going through the body visuals and stuff like that. You see some programs like Avon, you see programs like Broken Arrow. The reason the visual programs are so much more advanced overall than, say, here in the state of Texas is, one, they commit to all their body movements. Everything. You look at one person, you look at two different people in the same program, it feels like they're performing two different shows, or their interpretations of shows within the context of the whole show. And number two, which is something I wish would happen more here in the state of Texas, even programs at like St. Louis and even programs or Indianapolis that were, maybe in the lower half of prelims, they have really good guards. Like, they spin and catch, and they have really, really good guards. I wish that would happen more here. But it may take a couple of years for that to happen. When I was watching some of these shows, I was really impressed with the guard performances. It wasn't just flags, it wasn't just swing flags, it was sabers, it was rifles. I mean, there's so much that a good guard can add to a show. People talk about, well, props. You got to props, and you got to have 5 speakers. You got to have shotgun mics. Give me a good guard. Give me a really good guard that is integrated within the band to be effective, to pop on the field. I wish that would happen more here with the shows in the state of Texas. So as far as I know, the very first marching band contest inside Jerry World, also known as AT&T Stadium, also known as Dallas Cowboys Stadium, which that's what I like to call it, that happened this weekend. And understand something, I will preface this right now. what I have to say next has absolutely nothing to do with the programs that performed on the field in that stadium this past Saturday. Let's just say that. With that being said, and by the way, this contest was put on by U.S. bands. If you don't know who U.S. bands are, go check out their website. Let's see. Let's talk about this. I won't make this too quick, but let's just get through it. From what I've heard from extremely reliable sources, people that I trust more than pretty much anyone I know, it was difficult to find parking there. No signs. Nobody knew what time finals started. There was no signage. Very restrictive in terms of how to get around the stadium. Very restrictive of where to sit. There were no concessions, which was confirmed by their staff. Yeah, I said no concessions. No concessions. Okay. $35 for a finals ticket. That's actually more than a Bands of America ticket for San Antonio Super Regional, but I digress. Yeah, a little weird. Let's talk about that stadium real quick. AT&T Stadium was designed for a couple of reasons. One, it was designed to inflate egos, because that's what you have to do in the NFL. If you're going to build a stadium, it's got to be the biggest thing ever built. It was designed to be a home for the Dallas Cowboys. It was designed to be a multi-purpose stadium for stuff like rock concerts and WrestleMania and, all sorts of different stuff. And the NFL Draft is going to be over there this next year. Multi-purpose stadium. All sorts of configurations. It's a huge stadium. If the fire marshal doesn't show up, you can sit about 110,000 people in there. The one thing this stadium is not designed for is a marching band contest. Just logistically, getting in and out of the stadium, probably not a smart idea to have all the props go in one way and out the same way. Probably not a good idea. Okay. The last thing that AT&T Stadium was designed for, or the reason it was built to be a shopping mall. Okay? The amount of storefronts that are inside that stadium is ridiculous. It's one of those things where you don't even have to watch the game. You could just walk around, go all the shops, spend $20 on a pizza and all this other stuff. That's what it's designed to do. The Dallas Cowboys have the least amount of home field advantage out of any team in the NFL. Just because the stadium's too big and there's too much stuff for people to do. And because it's a huge stadium and because there's too much to do, opposing fans show up in droves. So that's why a touchdown for the Dallas Cowboys and a touchdown for, let's say, the Green Bay Packers sounds about the same inside of Jerry World. But I digress. Here's my point. Every single marching band contest that I've ever gone to, even if it was on a grass field in the middle of nowhere, has at least a barbecue pit with a pig on it, or a steak, or a burger, or a piece of chicken, or some hot wings, or something that was on the grill. Something to feed people with. But when I find out that there are no concessions at this stand, now maybe benefit of the doubt, U.S. bands couldn't sign they couldn't get a concessions contract because everything at that stadium is ridiculously expensive. Maybe they didn't get that squared away. But when I find out there are no concessions to be sold At a marching band event, it makes me want to throw things and then kick those things and then light those things on fire. How do you not have concessions at a marching band event? How is that even possible? Isn't that illegal? Isn't that illegal in the state of Texas? I'll go call Governor Abbott right now. I'm pretty sure I'll go call lawmakers in Austin right now because I'm pretty sure that's illegal. To not have a hot dog available. Anything. A bag of Fritos. A half-eaten pork sandwich. How is that possible? No signs anywhere. Nobody knew when finals was going to start. Nobody knew this, and nothing was updated on the website. And then no concessions. Are you serious? Maybe don't have it at this. Maybe don't rent that place out anymore for a marching contest. Aside from the fact that, logistically it didn't look like it worked. It didn't look like it worked. But no concession. No concessions? You've got to be kidding me. They would have been better off having this thing at the damn Stonebriar Mall down the street from my place. At least there would have been a Jamba Juice, a Great American Cookie Company, something. A Sbarro's, a Ghirardelli Chocolate Factory, something, anything. That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. I hope there's a damn good explanation for that. How dare you not provide Frito pie at a marching band contest in Texas? That should be a state law. I should go on change.org right now and start a stupid-ass petition. Frito pie at every marching contest in the state of Texas, bar none. Subject to a $250,000 fine. Yeah, let's do that. Frito pie. Frito pie and marching band in Texas. And if you can't make that happen, get out. Get the hell out of my state. Thank you all for listening today. I will get back to you guys later. We got UIL stuff to talk about. We're still working on region stuff. A couple of regions had to do their makeup date because of rain that happened. Of course, rain in the state of Texas. It's already almost November and it's still raining here. We'll talk about that later. Stay tuned for this week. Got a lot of stuff to prepare for. Good luck to the bands going to Atlanta, Trinity High School, Cedar Ridge High School, Haltom High School. I anticipate all three of those bands are going to make finals in Atlanta. Kick some butt out there. Show them what it's all about. Texas Pride, Team Texas. See you all later. Take care. Adios. Bye-bye.